Hey everybody, I hope you made it through week 5 of I Heart Stats OK. I'm out on the road today, so I'm just going to give you a quick little video to discuss two little things that came up in our t-test module today. The first one is sometimes when you calculate t, you get a positive value and sometimes you get a negative value. That's completely arbitrary. You shouldn't worry about that. That is just a matter of which group you decided to call group 1 and which one you decided to call group 2. If you'd switched them and turned it around and made the group that was 2 group 1 and the group that was group 1 you started calling group 2, then that sign would change. So that doesn't really tell you anything except which one is higher and which one is lower. What you care about when you're calculating that value is the absolute value of what you calculated, and that's what you compare to the critical value. That negative sign just tells you the direction of the relationship. We're going to see more of that with some of our other statistics. It doesn't tell us about the magnitude or the significance of the test. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is there was a question about one-tailed and two-tailed tests, and it's obviously easier to get a significant result when you use a one-tailed test. And so somebody said, well, why don't we just always use a one-tailed test? Well, you can use a one-tailed test if you know what direction you think the relationship is going to be. And if it turns out to be the other way around, you're going to say it's not significant, okay? So it's not really driven by your decision about whether you want to make it easier or harder to find. It's driven by your research question, okay? So the research question, if it says that there should be a positive relationship between the two things, then that means that you can have a one-tailed test, because then you're going to say, if there's no relationship or there's a negative relationship, I'm not going to accept my hypothesis. I'm not going to reject my null hypothesis, okay? Otherwise, if you don't know which way it's going to be and you just say there's going to be a difference or there's going to be a relationship, but I don't know what kind of relationship, then you have to use a two-tailed test, okay? So that's the issue. The selection of one-tail or two-tail is driven by your research question, not by the statistical significance kind of possibilities that come from that, okay? So you always want to think about your hypothesis, and that tells you which kind of test you use, one-tail or two-tail. All right, that's it for this time. It was a pretty straightforward week, and we'll see you next week as we go into week 6 of I Heart Stats. Bye-bye.